2, 1, and go.
Alright, so we are back in the game. So last time, you guys had just escaped from jail. Well, Pax, Dragon, Anthea, and Simon did. Simon, the Fey Massive, took off running in the direction of Naomi's sister's house, and Dragon was invisible and made it outside the main gates, and Pax and Anthea dimension doored out. The shookness, yes, I know, the shookness of the dimension door had one of Anthea's experiments in her hat break and cover her and Gleba in some kind of sleeping concoction, which knocked the two of them out. Um, the At that point, Dragon and Pax went into town to try and kind of hide away from the Kingsguard, which are now on alert to escaped prisoners. Pax took Anthea and Gleba into the Codfather, rented a room, and left her there under the guise of, well, she's just sleepy. Um, and then Dragon and Pax had themselves a fun little independent shopping spree, um, where Dragon got some clothes and some different armor to be less, standoutish. And Pax got himself, he ordered some spells and bought some other things. All the while, a local off the books mercenary employee of the Arcane Inquisitors named Kaelin tracked them and then eventually took them to the headquarters of the Arcane Inquisitors through her own private entrance, since they don't really want the heads of the Arcane Inquisitors don't really want the rest of the AI to know about her. She's one of their employees that do things that they can't really be associated with. But when meeting with them, you guys talked for a little bit, and both the Avatar of Air and Earth told you how there's something wrong with the king. They think he has been controlled or switched, and that it started quite suddenly a few weeks ago, and they're sure that he is under the influence of something else. So their goal is to no longer have this king or whatever is attempting to be the king sit on the throne. And then towards the end of that conversation, they, upon being asked by Dragon who they were, showed themselves to be his two children. Um, Very promptly after that, Dragon left and went and got himself a bottle of booze and made his way up to the top of a clock tower, or just a general high tower, and summoned his echo to have a conversation. Kaelin left and went back home for the evening, and Pax decided to spend the night in the library of the AI headquarters, with Anthea still just sleeping at the Codfather. All of you kind of agreeing to meet up again tomorrow morning to kind of discuss what the plan is, if taking the king off the throne is something you want to do, or maybe there's something else you want to do. Maybe you just want to leave town, or maybe you want to see what's up with Naomi. Who knows? There are options of things to decide on. But we will. Let me ask this. So, Pax, you said you were staying at the library. Is there anything you wanted to do for the rest of the evening before turning in to sleep for the night?
There are opportunities to chat with either of the daughters, probably, but nothing specific.
Yeah.
Bit of RP is always good, but no like errands or anything.
Okay.
So
Yeah, the two of them, they left as you said you were going to stay, and everybody else left. They had other. They said they had other things to attend to, and they floated down that big giant hole that you remember. But um, if there's anything specific you wanted to try and research, or if you even wanted to leave and head back somewhere else, you could do that. Or you could just generally just hang out and practice music or whatever. You are 100% safe and secure where you are. Um, you have free reign to leave if you want to, and then you know how to come back in as well, as that entrance seems to be available um, to those who
and it's
know it.
still another day and a half before my stuff is ready. Correct.
Yeah, yeah. You look down on your hand and you see that it's 1.5 basically. Is you saw that it reduced from 2 to 1.5. That little magical tattoo kind of, if you will, kind of like a henna tattoo that changes as they progress with the work on your scrolls, your two alter self scrolls. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I will just stay. I already had too much FaceTime on the surface, and there's the guards looking. So let's capitalize on the safety. So I'll practice some music. If there's folks around to entertain, I will do that. I'll try to add joviality to the evening while I wastrel.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely add a little bit of joviality to the evening. A couple people come in and go, but they seem to be more of like personal attendants to both the Avatar of Air and Earth, and they kind of hang out for a little bit, but they don't pay you too much mind. They do seem to be a little more lightened up as you perform um, for them. Okay, so all right, cool. So that's your evening. You can go ahead and roll a performance check if you want to see how well they enjoy your performance. I assume it's going to be very well since you have a plus 12. Yeah, 29. They have quite a good time. You do bring some joy and some light to this otherwise darker, more kind of dismal, old library-ish kind of spot. So, but eventually you can find rests and a respite. Actually, go ahead and make me a Arcana check first, and now make me an investigation at advantage, please.
Peter.
Great. So, as you're playing, putting on your performance for the time that you are in there, one of the different attendants that has kind of come and gone. He's come a couple of times back and forth as they have their own jobs to do and things to do. But he kind of grabs your attention as you're kind of coming to the down portion of one of your performances, um, and kind of brings you over to. Actually, let me kick you back over to this map real quick. He kind of brings you over to, we'll just say, here over to a portion of the stacks, um, and he takes you to more of a ancient music section, um, and kind of points out and says that you remind him of. He himself is not a musician, but he has heard of these ancient music arts that were able to use music for both um, offense and defense and other types of things. And I'm gonna go ahead and just roll a d8 minus one. All right, so 3. So what we'll say is, um, because of how well your performance was and your investigation, that he pulls out and takes you to the section of old music, um, and so that'll come out to a 3. You can pick any 3. What can you cast? 6 level spells right now? Is that where you're at? I think you can do
So
sixes.
let me just. Let
Yeah, you can do sixes. So
Yeah.
you can learn
Yep.
for one-time uses. You find some old music, which kind of gives you some inspiration. You can pick any 6 level spells in the game, and you have three independent uses of any 6 level spells. So 3 separate 6 level spells, and you can use each of
Sweet.
them one time and only one time, without components and So whatever they are, you can pick them. Just let me know what they are, and then I'll just add them as scrolls on there for you. Just because they're super old musics that you can see as you kind of rifle through this shelf. There are cobwebs and lots of
Ooh.
dust here, so it is enough to kick up some allergies for you. But
Gotcha.
you're hanging out basically here by yourself for the night and kind of just exploring and having, well, as lighthearted of a time as you can. So take some time. You don't have to tell me what they are this session unless you know specifically what it is that you want. Just let me know any 3 6 level spells that you want. You can cast them one time each. So.
Cool. So not just from the bard list, but from
Yep,
anybody.
from any list that you can find, or any list on there. As long as they're official spells, I'm cool with it. And if there's some that you like and you want to kind of reflavor and remix to fit more of your character, we can probably work that out too. So.
Yay!
But
well,
after
probably rifle through the PHP in the background here.
but yeah, after that you eventually do find some sleep. After you find this old, I like to imagine it as actual sheet music that you find.
Yeah.
That's how you find it. So, all right.
I'll probably send you the tracks that go with each spell, Alex, just because that's fun.
Yes, we'll find the music for the spells.
Yay.
All right, Kaylin, you're making your way back to your place for the evening, back to your mom's restaurant and your abode. Anything in particular you want to
Mhm.
do before you arrive or when you arrive for the rest of the evening?
Not really. And I mean, if I can, I would like to sneak into the house and into my room and avoid the fact that I had casually set my mom up on a date with a guy who was giving me information. She's probably not too happy about
Yeah,
that.
go ahead and roll a stealth at disadvantage, and she's gonna roll a perception at advantage, and I'm just gonna say she has a +8 because she's pretty perceptive. So
Am I going for sound? Because I have because I have the boots of Elvenkind, I have advantage on sound only
all right.
sneaks.
So we'll just say
So
it's
just a
a
straight roll?
roll then. So you got to beat a 27, which you should probably be able to do.
I might be able to do that.
It's gonna be close.
Oh, God. Mom's better than me.
She trained you, so yes, she's very good at what she does. As you go to sneak in, it's not that you make any sound because you sneak in like a ghost on the wind, but she just catches a flash of your cloak, and as you're just very quietly sneaking around a corner, you just feel all of a sudden just like pulled by the back of your collar, and you just are just like dragged back a foot and a half. And she's like, where do you think you're going? You're quite late, don't you think?
Bed.
Mm.
And I point to the stairs very innocently to go upstairs.
What have you been up to? It seemed like you've been up to no good.
It's a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, a little bit of both. Though we do need to talk.
Oh yeah? Is it about the
Yeah.
fact that you set me up on a date with someone I don't like?
I mean, we could talk about that later, but no, Mom, it's serious.
Oh, well, what is it?
And I will like pull her hand from my cloak and take her over to the kitchen table and sit her down. The job that was offered,
Yeah.
I want to take it, but it does have some factors in it that could lead to possible death, though I'm not really that concerned. My overall concern is we would have to relocate if things go bad.
You realize that our restaurant has wheels.
I know,
I always
but
plan for relocation, and if it means I don't have to go on that date, then I'm okay with it.
well, I mean, it's kind of give or take whether you have to go on the date. I don't know if he'll follow you. He really likes you. Anyway, that's not the point. But the thing is that if I'm gonna do this job, whatever the outcome is, I'd prefer it if you were at least outside of town, if not at least 10 miles away.
I mean, I can go on, say, a supply run where I'm going to find new ingredients for the restaurant. I can make a good excuse to leave for a while. That's not a problem at all. And if anything, it gets me away from um, that shop owner who I don't necessarily want to talk to or spend any time with, but now kind of have to.
So are you referring to him? Are you referring to the potion shop owner? Are you referring to the general store? Are you referring to and I list off like 6 other places that we both know have interest in mom.
I am referring to the one, that you offered a date to. So, the owner of Fit So Good, you know. He thinks his shop
Look,
name is punny, but it's not funny at all.
look, I know you're mad about that, but look at this. And I'll reach into my bag and I will drop the stack of money that was given to me for the job. Just bam.
Hmm. Hmm. Well,
You always taught me to use every tool in my tool belt.
mm,
Remember how many times we got things on clearance because you handed something to me because I was so small and innocent, and then you had me walk up to the cash register to the cashier and ask them for a discount and they gave it to me. Don't tell me that you don't do the same thing.
I don't offer my daughter out on dates to strangers, though.
I wasn't old enough.
That's true. All right, well, go to bed. I'm gonna make dinner and eat. Well, make a snack. I already ate dinner, but
Okay. I don't know when. I don't know when, but I will either swing by or send you a message to let you know when you need to leave.
all right. Sounds sounds fine with me. But all right, well, I will see you in the morning, I guess.
All right.
Maybe.
I love you,
If you
Mom.
if you sneak out, just leave me a note.
As always.
All right. Good
And
night.
as I get up, I start going to the hallway and I look back. I kind of like stick my head back into the door frame and I say, he didn't request an outfit, but that blue dress would
Get
probably work
out of
really well in my
here.
favor.
She
Okay.
pulls her slipper off and whips it towards you.
Yeah, I just take off up the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Dumb kids.
That's all I wanted to do for the night.
Kids not appreciating what the parents do for them. And she goes and she gets some sorbet out of the freezer and sits down and eats it over a late night whiskey too. Whiskey and sorbet, the snack of champions.
Classic mom.
Right. Classic supportive mom mode. All right. So, since you're gonna go in bed down for the evening, Anthea is currently still sleeping, so we'll get to your sleeping self here in just a minute. Dragon, you make your way, kind of teleporting your way to the top of a large clock tower, not far from the shops that you patronized earlier, and the Codfather. You can kind of see this entirety, the segment of the town that you have been in since you broke out of jail earlier in the day. You kind of have a good eagle eye view of it. Think of like Assassin's Creed, but not quite as high. You got a good solid. You can see everything within about a half a mile radius on a clear night, which it kind of is right now. But you can also see that um, the Kingsguard have increased their number since earlier. You know that within a few hours of the three of you breaking out, and you and Pax and then Kalen kind of maneuvering through the twilight hours of the night, there were already a lot of guard out, but now there are even more. It seems that the Kingsguard on patrol has now doubled, if not tripled. So you see that they move in little groups of about 4 at a time. You see that each group seems to be headed off by a dragonoid-looking creature in full heavy armor with 3 other not quite as well armored guards with them. So you see them kind of moving in their little groups of 4 as they traverse through the town. But as you're up here, you have your echo sitting beside you. So kind of pops out and just kind of looks in the same direction that you're looking and sees what you see.
Dragon uh takes some sips from his drink. You know, we're gonna say it's whiskey too because that's the first thing that came to my head. I don't know what I said last session, but now it's a bottle of
I don't
whiskey.
think. I think you just said a bottle of booze. I don't think you named
Well,
drinking.
it's whiskey. It's some whiskey.
Okay.
And he's drinking it. And he is going to between long sips is going to take out some paper
Mhm.
and a quill, you know, some ink or whatever, and just begin writing a note. And you know, he occasionally glances up at the echo, and when like the second time he glances up, he just casually asks, you know, like, "Why didn't you tell me?"
I didn't know for sure what created me, so I didn't really know. I just know that I was made, and I wasn't made by you, and you never asked.
I feel like I deserve to know these things, though, considering we've been stuck together.
Mm. I mean, I have access to all your memories and a few bits and pieces here and there, but I don't know everything you probably think I know. But feel free to ask, and if I know the answer, I will tell you. But if not, then I can't do anything about that except speculate.
Takes another drink, continues writing a little bit. Um, he doesn't need to eat, drink, or anything like that. He doesn't get anything from it, so like the drinking of the alcohol is kind of just like you know when alcoholics say they're just doing it to get numb.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's doing.
Fair.
Um, but between writing and a few drinks, he asks, "They say you're just a beacon to track me. They know where I am. Why are you still here?"
We're kind of stuck together. Um, well,
"Why don't they
yes,
take you?"
they're your kids. I assume they want to keep an eye on you and make sure you're doing okay. You'd have to ask them. I can't speak for their intentions. I'm not in their brain, I'm only in yours. But think of it less like a tracking beacon, um, and more like they only know where we are when they look through me. They don't have a piece of paper that has Dragon on it moving around on any map. They have to ritually use whatever magic it is that they use to then take over myself and then see whether it's through my eyes when I'm detached from you as of right now, or they can see through me through you. So they have to take time to do that, and it's not something they can continuously do as it is very powerful magic, especially cross planes. So
And you know, throughout the night, he just eventually finishes the bottle, finishes his writing, but he's staying up all night long, just occasionally chatting annoyingly with the shadow.
okay. If you have any more questions for him, I can answer them for you. But if
Um,
not, it's up to you.
I think the last question, as like the bottles being emptied and whatever, he'd probably just ask, "Why me? Why us? Why me? We could have stayed dead. We could have lived a we lived a hero's life, but now we're just an abomination. Why? Why?"
I mean, people come back from the dead all the time. Sometimes they're reborn as a different race. Sometimes they're reborn as a new life without their old memories. Sometimes they're reborn with their memories. People are reincarnated into different things. People are brought back from being dead regularly. Would you say that every person that ever comes back is an abomination? And if so, I think that says more about your views on, well, life and on death than it does theirs. But I would say that we're not an abomination. We are merely two sides of one coin, and without being able to be in their heads, I fully believe that your children brought us back because they need your help, the help of their father, once again. And maybe, or maybe they just missed you. I can't speak for that, but maybe they brought you back for something good. I think you should ask them.
You know, you're a real piece of shit. And then takes the final swig of his drink and then just stays up to watch the sunrise.
Well, I am primarily made of you, so it's kind of like looking in a mirror sometimes, I suppose. But, you know, that seems rude, so just kind of turns back as you turn. It's like you've noticed throughout the night as you're talking to him, whenever there's like longer gaps of you not speaking, the echo falls back under your control again, and then whenever you were to speak to him, it's kind of like it kind of regains consciousness again and is able to respond to you, and then when there's those long down times, it just kind of the consciousness kind of slips away. It's kind of one of those things that just kind of ebbs and flows depending on the moment. And you know, you've never tried to talk to them in combat before, but you don't know if it is due to like emotional stress or just he can only act for so many seconds in a row before he has to not act. There's a lot you don't know because there's a lot he also doesn't really know. So, but you're just gonna sit up here for the entirety of the night?
Yeah, and he's staying up the night. He'll take an exhaustion point.
Okay. Well, you can roll a con save and see. And you can either take it by choice or you can roll a con save and not take it.
I'm gonna say he takes it by choice.
Okay, cool. So you have 1 point of exhaustion. All right. So Anthea, who has been asleep for the better part of it, almost a whole day at this point, you guys broke out of jail with only being in there for a couple of hours, if even that. You were not held very long. But Anthea, you find yourself in a mushroom kind of forest. Actually, let me show you where you find yourself. You find yourself here.
Ooh.
It's beautiful.
So you find yourself in this forest of trees and bushes and plants and flowers, a significant portions of mushrooms. You could ignore that skeleton right there in the middle. It's just part of the map. I just noticed.
Okay.
But there are mushrooms of all sizes, shapes, colors, smells. You know that some of these are poisonous. You know that some can bring healing properties. Some are toxic. Oh, does nobody? Do you guys not have vision here? Can you not see?
I can see everything.
Maybe I just didn't.
There we go.
I was gonna say maybe I just had one turned off by accident. I think I did. There we go. Cool. Yes. So you find yourself in this forest. It looks kind of similar to forest that you played in as a child, but much more overgrown with mushrooms and mycelids and whatnot. But as you kind of walk through and dance through, and Gleba's hippity hopping with you, just enjoying the different big old mushroom pads and whatnot. You eventually find yourself in a small clearing with a large mushroom in the middle, so right about here. And you see that there is a hut. And as you approach the hut, you hear birds chirping and feel the warmth of the sun rays on your face kind of coming down through the clouds. And the closer that you come to the front of this hut, you kind of hear music playing from around the back on this side. And the smell of dandelions very strongly permeates the air and climbs its way up into your nose. As you kind of
I'm going along, I'm just collecting little samples of mushrooms as well because I can't resist. I'm like pop a little container and just like stick a piece in there. Oh, that one's cool. I'll check that one out later. Okay. And then meanwhile, Gleeba's kind of hopping ahead, sort of like excitedly towards the sound. And as I get closer and I hear it, I'll sort of call out like, "Hello."
you don't get any response to your hello, but you do still hear the music clear as day, kind of just floating on the wind, and the smell of dandelion getting stronger as you kind of walk a little closer to the hut.
In that case, I'll get closer and try again. Hello, so sorry to interrupt your song.
As
And
you
I'll try to peek around the hut.
Yeah, as you peek around the hut, you don't see anybody playing music. The music seems to just be appearing out of thin air from some ethereal space. But you see sitting on a small bench wearing gardening attire, sipping some tea, um, looking up at you, is a ancient wizard drinking what you know to be dandelion tea. This ancient wood elf wizard with kind, intelligent eyes kind of nods in response to your hello, and you recognize this to be Dalius.
Yeah. But how could this be? It's been so long. I'm a bit confused, but also excited. So I'll get closer and try to kind of see if it's still him. So, um, maybe could I just look, like, take a closer look at him and look at his clothing and just see if he's indeed wearing the same outfits that I would recognize?
Yes, and he is.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Darius, what's happening? How are you here? Where am I?
I believe that you are in a type of magical chemical induced sleep that I think you probably caused yourself.
Yeah. So I'll recall probably in the last moments. Do I kind of notice what happened before I fell asleep?
Yeah, you know what happens.
Okay.
You heard something
Okay.
break in your hat, and as you kind of looked up, you felt your face get kind of wet, and then you were asleep. So you know what you did.
All right. Yeah. I'll sort of reach like instinctively up to my hat, like, oh yeah. So none of this is real.
And it is real in the plane of dreams where you are right now, which is where everyone goes when they sleep, if they have the capability. But I used magic to be able to finally contact you. I've been trying, but this is the first time that I think your sleep has been deep enough that I have been able to complete the casting of my spell and reach you.
Would you want to reach me? I failed.
What makes you believe you failed?
Couldn't help him.
You couldn't, but are you not still trying?
Yes, I mean, well, I haven't really found much yet aside from a pretty good sleeping potion, apparently. Um, but I mean, I am trying.
Then you have not failed. You only fail when you refrain from trying and you give up. But
Where should I look next? I've been trying and I just have found nothing.
there is there is hope. But to where you should look specifically, I do not know. I would say try to make contact with additional practitioners of magic. Maybe I've heard of a land where legend says it was the first to be created in this world, and there are practitioners of magic who can seemingly create something from nothing. That might be a place to try. You may find what you're looking for there.
Sounds like the type of power that we would need. Thank
Yes.
you.
I will say that not all is well. You don't have as much time as you may think.
What's happened? Is someone in danger?
Everyone is always in danger, but it's more of Arius is changing again.
Jing, how?
Well, I never showed you the entirety of my magic, as you were not strong enough to utilize it appropriately and safely. So I gave you and taught you an alternate, which is why you're able to use the spores of mushrooms in the way that you do. Um, my magic is similar, and that is of necromantic in nature. And I was able to save Arius by returning him to this world as a thrall. I did not want to tell you before, as I believed you would not have approved, but is the only way that I was able to keep some semblance of him from decaying into nothingness. So he is currently a thrall, an undead thrall of mine. But he is slowly losing, I'm slowly losing my grip over him. Something stronger seems to be coming and seems to be tapping into all the necromantic powers, at least from what I've seen of the world so far. I'm losing my necromantic strength. It seems to be being tapped and sapped, going somewhere that I don't know. So, I don't know how much longer he has of being able to be one of my commanded thralls, but I don't imagine it's more than a couple of months at most, and after that I cannot promise that he can be saved. So, I would hurry to either find a way to recreate him into what he once was, or find the source of what is removing necromantic magic control from those who utilize it.
What will happen if we don't act soon enough?
All practitioners of necromantic magic will lose their strength, and once a mage loses all of their magic, they die. So that will happen, and all of the collective necromantic magic being put into a single being would not end well for everyone else. So I have my contacts that I've been working with to try and discover the source, but we have no luck yet. Maybe you'll do better.
There's no leads. No leads as to who is sapping this energy or what.
No, it doesn't. All we know is that it does not seem to be from the material plane. It seems to originate from somewhere else, but we do not know where. All we know is that frequently, about once every few weeks, a small rift opens, and it's like magic is being vacuumed into that rift for everything within a 250-mile radius, we think, from that source point. All necromantic magic, that is. So, all the souls of the undead, all the control of the magic itself, magic from the practitioners. My colleagues who were once much stronger than I are on the same footing as me now, which is terrifying. They're losing their ability to cast the highest and most complicated of spells, which is going to whatever this being is.
It's terrible. Okay. Where should I start? Should I try to find more magic practitioners and try to find this first land? Is that where you think I might find more information?
I believe so. That would be a good first step. Unless you have access to ancient information and texts that I've not seen, that might be another step. Maybe, but I don't imagine it would just be in any run-of-the-mill library. You would need to have access to old texts. But finding that first land is definitely a step in the right direction, I would think. I can't go, as if I separate myself too far from him, I will lose all control of Arius, and neither of us want that. So,
Thank you.
but I must depart. And I'm sorry, but this is going to hurt when you wake up.
Uh-oh.
I will try not to contact you this way again, but it's the best I could do for now.
Better than nothing.
And you see that he stands up, he finishes his tea, sets it down, and walks off up here into what you know to be the general path towards his garden. And this whole world of mushrooms and trees kind of starts to blur, and you feel yourself starting to, like you're coming out of a dream, and you find yourself waking up with the rays of the sun rolling down on your face from the window in a bed that you do not recognize. And I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw of DC 17, please.
Quite.
So you wake up from the spell, from being asleep, and you take 9 psychic damage as you were contacted via the dream spell. So,
Hangover.
you do not benefit from a long rest either. So, you take 9 damage, and anything that requires a long rest to recover, you unfortunately cannot get back, as you did not sleep well after that. But you wake up, and the morning sun rays, like I said, brush out on your face, kind of warming you to the morning. And you wake up in a bed in a room that you do not recognize. There's nobody
Check
else
my
in
hat
this room.
and check for Gleba.
Yes, Gleba is there with you.
Oh, good. I'll sort of notice that one of the bottles that was in my hat broke, and I'll kind of try to clean it up a little without inhaling anymore. Just sort of spend a minute kind of getting myself kind of settled, and then I'll. Is there a window I can peek out of?
Yeah, there's the window that the sun rays are coming in through. I mean, you can hear some voices from outside of the room and downstairs. This place seems to be pretty lively. I mean, as you go and you look out the window, you see that it is a market square, one that you passed by as you were walking towards the castle and kind of exploring the city yesterday when you first got here and you were exploring with your group. But you don't see any of your group. No.
That's good news. Okay. So I'll go downstairs and sort of check in with the riffraff and see if anyone knows where my companions have gone.
As you make your way downstairs and check in with the old riffraff, and you ask them where folks are. One of the employees who has been kind of checking up on you throughout the night, just making sure that people have been leaving you alone and whatnot, says that you were brought in by some short-horned fellow. He said that you just needed to sleep for the night and that when you wake up you'd be looking for him, but I haven't seen him since he dropped you off, so I don't know where he went. But your room's paid for, so you don't owe us anything, and there is breakfast over there, so.
Love a continental breakfast.
You get a continental breakfast. Ready to go.
Perfect. I will go and gobble some food and hopefully find something for Gleba to munch on as well. Maybe I have a little jar of flies or something for him. Which might get some weird stares from people.
I'm gonna roll a D100 real quick. 20. Yeah, they have chocolate-covered bugs there, as well.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know if Gleba can eat chocolate, but whatever.
I'll sample some.
Okay. Yeah, they're just like chocolate-covered crickets. So.
Oh.
All right, so you have a continental breakfast, and you make your way outside, or you're hanging out in here and waiting to see what happens.
I'll probably go outside and start looking because time is of the essence after my conversation. So.
All right, so Dragon, you see, based on the amount that you can see, you see a large hat-wearing woman kind of come walking out of the Codfather. You know this to be Anthea, who is now fully awake and by herself, as you know that obviously you didn't go back there, Pax isn't there, and Kaylin, I don't even know if Kaylin knows about Anthea. Oh, you know there's a group.
It was mentioned, but I don't know what she looks like.
Yeah. So, Dragon, you see Anthea kind of make her way out of the Codfather, and Kaylin, with it being morning now, you kind of make your way out into the market square as well. Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just kind of casually walking?
Casually walking.
Okay. Dragon, I'll say, since she's not trying to be stealthy or anything, you also see Kaylin. But you also see a shit ton more guards. They have continued to increase in numbers over the evening, where they were sparse at different points, just kind of having longer time frames between their patrols. Now that day has broken and the city is getting more lively again, the Kingsguard are in full force out and about. So they haven't taken to the roofs yet, surprisingly, though.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah. You think it's probably not going to be too long before they do that, but climbing up onto roofs in the dark of night is not always the safest thing to do. So, no one wants to fall off a roof. So,
all right, okay. All right. I'm just paying attention and watching the patrols. I want to get a pattern.
Okay.
Is what I'm trying to do.
All right, go ahead and roll a perception for me. watching. You're watching them, but um, you think there's maybe a pattern, but then it changes, and then right when you think you're catching it again, it seems to change again. They don't seem to have any like super structure of um, how their um, what's what I'm looking for, how their walks go through
Uh-huh.
the district. They kind of just come and go. You see some people looking the same place multiple times, but they're questioning
Mhm.
people over and over, trying to get information.
Mhm.
And you also see an increased number of Kingsguard out and about Anthea.
Okay.
Do they seem to be looking
Yes.
for anything in particular? Can I hear them kind of?
You, yeah, I'll say that you can hear them because there are quite a few of them, and there are lots of people out here too. So you can kind of blend in for a little bit with the people, but you hear them describing what Dragon, yourself, and Pax all look like, just to random folks, to see if they can get a hint of where you may or may not be. And
Probably not a great idea to be out here, huh?
mhm, I'm gonna roll 3 just straight d20 luck checks, and we'll see if any of these break 13. If they break 13, then the guards, every time they get over 13, the guards get more information about where you may or may not be. So here's the first 3. Well, they have a good description
Boy.
of what Pax looks
Uh-oh.
like and of what your hat looks like. You hear them mention a small um, person with some horns and some hooves, and then a lady with a big hat. And you hear them try to describe what Dragon looks like, but
Big hat.
they don't really do any like real details. It's more of like they're just describing a soldier in armor, which could literally be them. So,
Question.
Can I,
mhm.
can I see Dragon?
um, Dragon, are you trying to hide up on the roof?
Um, he's kind of just like, if this is like a clock tower,
Mhm.
right? So like there's an inside, clocks above him. He's kind of like hanging out near the edge of it.
Okay. So roll. We'll say you roll a stealth at advantage just to see how like out of the way you are up there, and at there you can roll a perception against that just to see if you kind of notice him. And then what was your question, Kale?
Um, so what I want to know is, as I'm walking around and I'm listening to the conversations, obviously I'm catching the descriptions of the people that I already met, but
Mhm.
do I catch enough detail about Anthea to be able to pick her out of the crowd before the guards do?
You get the same amount of information that it's just um a human woman with some longer hair and a big hat. Um, so, I mean, you could try and use the big hat as reference because there are plenty of other human women with longer hair in the city. So, or people who play
Fair.
themselves off sometimes looking like human women. Like if you were to cover your ears, you would pass as a human woman. Um, so, I mean, that's about the information the guards got. So, if you can use that, if Anthea is wearing her hat and you pick her out from a big hat, then that is on on Anthea and her hat. But
So
hmm.
I was just sorry, just real quick. I'm gonna be legit for a hot second. When you said if you cover your ears, you can pass as a human woman. A hot second, I thought, wait, your character's not a human, and for a second, I didn't remember that other races existed in this game.
You run around with a satyr. What are you talking about?
I thought for a hot second, I was like, wait, there's only humans.
And I already described the head of each of the little legions as
Wow.
a dragon person, so you know there are
Oh, and
also
the commander.
dragon-looking people. But yes, Anthea, you do not see, you don't catch notice of dragon. Like you look around, you kind of look in all directions, and you think maybe for a second you saw something up in the clock tower, but also it's the early portions of the morning, so there are shadows kind of everywhere as the sun rises and moves through the sky. So it could have also just been that. But
Uh,
yeah.
I'm gonna turn around and go right back into the inn. And I'm
Okay.
just gonna like slide a bit of money over to the innkeeper that I talked to, and I'm just gonna say, "You didn't see me or my friend." So I'll slide over. I don't know what's a good amount of money to keep someone quiet. I don't know how the economy works in this game.
I'll let you decide what you think is a good number.
Like,
I mean, a gold is like a laborer's day salary, kind of. So
I will say
don't know.
Dragon paid the shop owner, I think, 5 gold to be quiet, and he said sure. And then Kaylin came along, offered the same, and a date with her mom, and got the information. So really, it's gonna be based on that. And then he tried to buy off a blacksmith who got really offended and also said no. So, really just depends who you're talking to.
I'll try to give like 10 gold. Because I have a handful right now.
Yeah.
So.
You see that they swipe the 10 gold and they go, and just kind of look around like they saw nothing.
Perfect. Okay. Then I'm gonna quickly go back up to the room. I'm gonna try to turn my hat into like a bag. So I'll just try to grab like some kind of rope or something to kind of give it a handle.
Yeah.
And then I'll just kind of braid my hair or something, or make it look kind of more difficult to identify. And then I will try to go outside again.
Okay.
Hopefully that helps a bit.
So go ahead, and you don't have Tinker's tools on you. So what we'll do is I'll just have you roll a straight intelligence check to see how good you are with knots.
Sorry, I cut out there. What?
Oh, and just an intelligence check for me.
Oh boy. Okay.
For knot knowledge.
That's not great.
So you don't really know a lot about knots, but you know how to make some loops.
I do not know how to knot.
So basically, instead of like cutting a hole in your hat, you like take it and you loop it. You flip your hat upside down and you make like a little. You weave, not weaving, but you kind of tie together like a little rope basket almost, and you sit your hat in the rope basket so it's upside down with enough that it might hold and pass as a bag because you can sling it over your shoulder now. But it also looks like an upside down hat with rope on it. So,
Pretty obvious.
It's not on your head, so it's not a hat? Question mark. So.
Foolproof. No one could ever identify me.
Right.
This is very Anthea's character, though.
It's not shoes. She doesn't make them well. No, she's making shoes. She's got it.
Did I hear any mention of Gleba? Nobody knows about Gleba, I'm assuming.
No, the random townsfolk don't know about your little frog friend.
Okay, cool. So. Well, I'm gonna chance it and try to head out and search for Pax.
Okay.
He's the last person that apparently saw me and made sure that I didn't die on the street corner somewhere.
I forgot that you have the boots of speed.
Oh yeah, can I please use those?
Yeah, you can click them together and just be. It only lasts for 10 minutes, but you can move very quickly for 10 minutes.
Yeah, like 60 feet.
Yeah, and if you're dashing, you can go 120 feet per round. So.
All right, perfect. I'm just gonna zip around town, basically.
Okay.
I mean, I'll probably try to check out a few places that we were at last we hung out. So I think the library was one of them.
All right. So.
Yeah. So I'll zip around.
All right. So you walk out the inn, and Dragon, if you were keeping your eyes on it, you would see her walk out just without a hat on, and then starts moving very quickly. Just dip, duck, dodge, dash, and dodge. Dive.
It's actually really funny because the next thing I was gonna say is Dragon's gonna begin, doing his shenanigans of teleporting to the library.
All right. Well, you start teleporting to the library, and Anthea starts speedily trying to run towards the library.
Using the rooftops, of course.
Using the rooftops, yeah. Kaylin, go ahead and roll me a perception check, and Gleba roll. Oh, not Gleba, jeez. Anthea, roll me a. We'll say survival as you're trying to dash through the town, because you can't really be stealthy when you're sprinting.
No.
But you can dive behind corners and kind of like get out of the way a little bit.
Not really
So
great this evening.
yeah, but with a 15, Kaylin, you notice a woman moving quite quickly. Um, like she has a plan, but she's also just diving through all these different alleyways and behind some bushes and trees and statues and just kind of moving very quickly, suspiciously. And I'm gonna see if it has grabbed the guard's attention. We'll say you dip past 4 different groups, and they're gonna have to. They have like a plus. They have a +0 to their perceptions, so they're gonna just have to beat 14. So the DC for it is a 14 to see if you grab the attention of any of these groups as you're speeding through town. Wow.
Oh, oh, barely. There was one guy who was paying attention, and his buddy's like, "Nah, you didn't see anything."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So are you following Anthea towards the library, Galen? Guess that's my next
um,
question.
I guess, I guess it would be, do I know it's her? Because if I didn't catch her with the giant hat on her head, I wouldn't know to look for a hat. I wouldn't know to look for her hat being a bag.
Um,
Doesn't look like a bag, we've established.
what is your passive investigation?
18.
You know that that is a hat, not a bag.
Um, I think I would watch her go, see her barely not get caught,
Hmm.
and then I would continue to the inn because I they have zero obligation to come and help me. So I have no obligation to chase them down. So it for me, they would need to be willing to do this with their own volition. So I would go to the bar and
Okay.
wait.
All right. So you make your way to the Codfather. And morning comes, Pax, and you wake up, and you are alone in the library room where you had your meeting. No one came to wake you up. None of your friends have returned. You have got no updates one way or the other. What would you like to do?
I would touch base if there are any staff nearby, if any errands need running, because like, I don't have anything I need to do. But if I'm going to go up to the surface anyways, I might as well kill two birds with one stone, and it kind of gives me some cover. So
Yeah.
if I see something suspicious, I'll be like, "Oh, I have to get to the Sparkle Mart." I don't know.
Sparkle
Bye.
Mart.
Stop
you,
looking at me.
you buy all your explosives at Sparkle Mart and all your fireworks.
Exactly.
I
I did in the bomb shop. That guy's a jerk.
um, so they basically say that they don't have anything per se to do, but um, if you wanted to take some of these books over to the library or deliver um, some of these small packages to the market, to some of the vendors to sell, as they're kind of mundane magical items that um, don't really have any true significance. They're just old little things that they found that they just kind of give out to the market to sell. So they get more interest in older artifacts throughout the cities to hopefully get more people interested for the research. So they can slowly build their ranks kind of that way. Um, so you can either deliver some books which they're releasing out to the public to read through the library, or um, the mundane magical items to the market, or both. So
Oh, let's do both. Why not?
okay, so you get
Do they
handed.
have a Sparkle Mart rewards card? I want to get the points.
They do not have a Sparkle Mark rewards card, unfortunately.
Well, I will of course get them one. You know, when we come back, got to make sure that they get their maximum value for local businesses.
Gotta get their points, and so they can get their percentage off their next 3 frozen yogurt purchases, of course.
There you go.
So they give you a package with 3 different books in it. They don't look to be anything too super interesting. It's more of just translating some older languages, and some general information about the history of the city, and the history of some older magics, which are more. This one is more of like almost like a fairy tale book. Like the stuff that is in there, as you quickly glance through it, doesn't really seem like it's viable magic anymore. It may have once happened, but even if it was true, people are still going to kind of read this in that fairy tale kind of mindset. Like, I don't know if this is true, but it's an interesting kind of fun little read. And the other one is just, like I said, a little bag of about a half a dozen little mundane magical items. So, um, as you make your way, where do you want to go first? The library or to the market? Where the same market
I'll do the
where
library.
you were before. So, you said to the library? All right.
Yeah, I'm start with the
So,
library.
all right. So you make your way to the library. Are you doing it stealthily or just like casually walking?
I think casually will be less suspicious. So yes, we'll just be casual.
Okay. So you see that there also is a very high increase in number of guards, and as you listen, you do overhear that they are looking for um, a description of what a human woman with a giant hat is, a general soldier-looking person, and a humanoid with horns, and they kind of describe you a little bit. You just kind of hear that in passing. Go ahead and roll me as you are now getting into the brunt of where there are more people. Roll me either a survival or a stealth check. We'll say at advantage just because you are casually walking and trying not to bring attention to yourself. And then there will be this minus
Stealth
one.
is better.
Yeah, there'll be this minus one. A little bit just this many groups floating around. So just one. All right. So he's just gonna go ahead and roll a perception to see if this group notices you specifically. He does not. He kind of has the attention of the person he's gaining information from, and as you see him kind of getting more information about you, you're able to just kind of scoot on by, kind of make your way through the crowd a little bit, and you do eventually make your way to the library. Let me find all of these tokens here because you know. So, Kaylin took yourself back to the Codfather, and you're just hanging out at the Codfather, huh?
Yep, they're not obligated to help me, and I have no obligation to chase them down. So basically, I'm just waiting to see if they show up.
This is true. This is true. All right, so we will make our way over to the library. So you'll all be on this map. You'll just be arriving at different points. So, library. All right, so Anthea, you make it to the library first, barely avoiding the notice of some of the guards. Your hat bag not so securely swinging on your hip. Um, so you make it into the library, and you see that there are already quite a few different people here. There's the librarians that are working. There's probably 15, 20 folks in here between sitting at the table doing some research or just reading casually or just kind of perusing the stacks.
Gonna speed through. My first reaction is just to speed through and look down each aisle. You know when you lose your mom at a supermarket
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like quickly looking down each aisle? So I'll do that, like with my super speedy boots. And
Okay.
if, I'm just gonna look for Pax in the aisles first, just to see if he's here.
You don't see packs anywhere in the
Cool.
aisles, and as you get to the last aisle, you feel that your legs just kind of get real tired for a second, and the magic of your shoes for the day seems to have expired. So your 10 minutes getting here,
10 minutes.
yes, it has been 10 minutes. It would normally have been way more, but you were like booking it there. So
That's fair. Okay, in that case, suppose I could ask a librarian.
mhm.
So that would probably be my next reaction, to head over to a librarian.
Okay, so you make it up there, and about this time, Dragon, you make it to the library.
I like to imagine I'm on a rooftop and like my echo just pops up like right here as I'm peering through a window, and I'm just like zoop.
Yeah.
So sneaky.
Mm-hmm. So you appear inside of the library, and you see the same thing. There are multitudes of people, um, just doing library stuff.
Okay. It's really funny because I will also be heading to this person.
All right. So you start making your way to that person, and then we'll say this many minutes later, Pax will arrive. So in 9 minutes, Pax, just because you were further away from where they both were. So you'll get here in about 9 minutes. But in this time, Dragon, you make your way up to the librarians, and you see Anthea as you're getting to about here. You'll see Anthea off in the distance. Um, you make your way up to the librarian Anthea, and they look up at you and like, "Oh, well, hello. Good morning. Nice to see you again."
Morning. Good to see you too. I just have a question because I have a friend who he's gone off, and I'm just not sure when he's back, and I want to know if he's been here today. And so I'll describe Pat.
Um, well, no, we just opened not too long ago, and we always have our morning rush of folks who want to get in here and start their day with a book, which is the right way, by the way, to start your day. An apple and a book a day is what you want to do,
Do
but
you have
always
that
read.
on a bookmark?
Actually, I do. And she, bam, pulls it out. But you see real quickly she has a quill and she writes it on the back of it. Here you go. Unique, one of a kind bookmark. An apple and a book a day is how to start your day, and maybe keep the doctor away. But we're not quite sure. And then it starts rambling a little bit.
It's a
Uh,
very
as she
long quote.
as she runs out of bookmark space. Well, just like books, they can go on forever, so I can't quote.
Is there a sick person moving? Sorry, I'm distracted.
No, you're good. It's just a bro, just broing it out in the
Just
library.
hanging out. Okay.
Um, no,
Okay.
I haven't seen the person that you described. But maybe they'll
Okay.
show up later.
I hope so. And thank you for the bookmark. I really appreciate that. And I'll like tuck it into one of my um, sciencey wizardy books.
And as you as you turn and look down the corner, you see Dragon down the aisleway. Because these right here, these are just tables that you can see over. So this whole open space in the middle, if you're standing
Yeah.
anywhere, you can just see all the way down. So you turn and you see
And
Dragon.
he's definitely different. He's not wearing his armor, and instead he's got a Kenobi robe on right now, like an old Jedi master robe, and he with a hood.
And I assume
I
I
sort of
see
do a
him.
double take because I'm not used to seeing him in different outfits.
And we'll say here in about 2 minutes in the game time. So once they pretty much meet up and start having a little bit of conversation, Pax, that's when you will walk in the door. So, because you're almost there too. All right, so
Yeah.
they meet up.
I have a little mini Iggy on my shoulder because why not?
A little
Mini
Extra
Iggy.
record.
mini Iggy.
Miggy.
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 Yeah.
Miggy.
That's adorable.
But yeah,
Dragon, where is everybody? Everyone's separated.
Considering we're wanted folk, we all scattered.
Do I see
Fair,
people
I
or no?
suppose.
about this time, you do make your way into the door. We'll say the main door is like down here, so you make your way in that door right there. So you can't see through the bookshelves, so you can't see them per se, because all of this right here is basically bookshelf that is above eyesight. But yeah, if you make it out to like this place over here, then you would be able to see pretty much everything that's within that.
I'll probably go to Cirque Desk because I have an errand.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
So, yep, you make
I'll
your way up
be
there.
facing
Yeah.
That way.
Yep, and you make your way to the circ desk, and you two are still having conversation.
Chat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna tell Anthea, be like, just grab a table real quick. I'll sit down in a second.
Okay, that very table right there.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
Someone
walk
conveniently
up
right
here
beside me.
and return my book.
Oh, great, you've returned it. I would have hate to have sent the collection agency after you and taken your soul, and put you into eternal servitude for returning your book late. Thank you for returning it. And she hands you a bookmark.
I don't even know if I have a soul anymore. Tell me something new. Um,
She takes the bookmark
He
back and
doesn't
flips it
say
over
that.
and writes on it. You should, because what she was gonna write was gonna be really funny.
Uh,
She
no.
write. Okay. Well, you see on the back, all of these bookmarks have their own unique quote. This one says, "The book is the soul of a story."
Of course. Okay. He returns the book and then goes to sit down on the opposite
Roll a
side.
perception check real quick, both you, Anthea and Dragon.
I almost rolled performance.
Anthea, you don't see
I
Pax.
just remembered my book on cobbling, so I'm probably
Yes.
trying to fish it out of my hat.
Absolutely. Your hat bag. Yep. You're used to being able to just like hold it and just like shake it and to come out, but now you have to like
Yeah.
dig in there so it doesn't look like a hat. But Dragon, as you were walking back from the librarian desk, you did see a person who looked like Pax from behind over at the circulation desk.
Okay, as he's kind of walking back to the table, Dragon just lets out a whistle, quick to get the attention.
Okay. Pax, as you're standing there, the circulation clerk says, "Oh, you have a delivery for us?"
Yes, I do. Also, there's a whistle, but here's the delivery, and I'll look over my shoulder
Um,
while we're starting
y-
to transact.
yep, you see a person that looks like a dragon, in the duster cloak that he was wearing yesterday, kind of making his way to a table, and you see a hatless woman who you believe is probably Anthea, as she's wearing the same clothing, digging through her hat, which is not on her head, but has some rope around it. So you see them sitting at this table, kind of across from
I
that
will
librarian.
I will wave subtly but with energy, like very small but very excited wave, and do a little creation magic ping of like a small leaf to flutter onto the table between them. Um, kind of as a "I'll be right over" gesture.
The circulation clerk takes the books and kind of flips through them really quickly and then writes them on their intake log and then writes you a little receipt and hands it over. It says, "Thank you for the delivery. Please make sure that this receipt gets to the donor, whoever that may be. And
I will
thank
do
you.
so.
Thank you for delivering them and pass on our regards. And we appreciate that we are constantly being able to put new books or old books into circulation. Have yourself a wonderful day. And if there's anything else you need help with, feel free to ask myself or our lovely librarian right down there."
I will absolutely do so. Thank you so much.
And you see that they
I'll
take the books
saunter
off of
casually
the
over.
counter and they put them on their little circulation cart to send them to kind of be cleaned up a little bit so they can be put out into circulation because they have to put them in their actual like
Very good.
inventory too and put them on their Dewey Decimal System library cards. All right, you make your way over and you see Anthea and Dragon, but that's it. You don't see a Kaylin or a Naomi or, well, nobody else. You see
I'll
a
definitely
Gleba
walk
and
over and
Anthea
sit
and a
down and be
Dragon.
like, "Hello! Oh my goodness, you're awake, Leva and Dragon. You exist. So glad to see you both. What's happening?"
A lot. I had a dream, but it wasn't really a dream. And I have a feeling I have things I need to accomplish sooner rather than later. Sounds like
That's mysterious.
there's something that's been. Yeah, it sounds like there's something going on with magic, and I'll sort of fill them in on the brief without really telling them much about um, art bits and stuff, but talking about how my mentor has detected these issues with necromantic magic. Um, and yeah, I fear it's connected to something bigger.
So you only tell them, just so I'm clear, so you only tell them about the necromantic magic problem?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
I mean, they kind of
That's pretty
know
serious.
that I'm. Yeah, they know that I'm looking for like necromantic magic stuff. So, I mean, they've seen me do things with mushrooms that are definitely
Turn
necromancy.
people into zombies.
Yeah, so it's not really a surprise that I have a mentor who does that kind of magic as well. So yeah. So
That's
we've found
kind of
our own
scary.
problems here, but I'm also concerned about this, and I'm honestly feeling a bit torn.
Well, I don't think we're too limited that we can't also pursue this because this, as you say, it seems really important.
Yeah, this could
You
be
know,
really dangerous if that power gets into the wrong hands.
what do you think a good first step would?
Something about the first land that was created on this planet. Isn't that what he said? Anyway.
Yes,
The
Correct me
first
if
yes.
I'm
land.
wrong,
Okay.
Alex.
Yeah, that's close to what he was telling you. It's
Okay.
he was telling you about a region which is known as colloquially as the first land, um, and that's where they believe that's like the first livable space where humanoids and whatnot civilization was first created there. So
Fascinating. Well, that. Hmm.
Something we'll have to research, but I don't know if it will be in this library.
We can definitely try. Um, the other library could also be a good source.
I have a feeling we'll need some more ancient
Yeah,
text.
exactly.
Pax, you thinking about it for a second. Roll me a history check real quick, Mr.
Sure.
Pax.
Where the heck am I? There it is. +6. Hey, Dees.
It's not called it much anymore, but you do know from growing up and the studies that you did that your village island area is used to be referred to as um, the first isle or the place of first creation.
Ooh. I will tell that to
It is
Gleba. Well, hey,
it's
actually,
just
this
not
could be
commonly
recovered.
called that anymore. That kind of faded, but that's what it used to be called.
That's what my aunt always called it. And we just thought she was kooky, but maybe there was something to it.
I mean, it's worth a try. I don't have any other leads, and neither my mentor. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
if
haven't
you're
been back there
willing
for a long
to
time, but
take a little trip home,
yeah, the how would be one thing. If
show
we can
us all the
find a
local
good teleportation
restaurants.
circle, you know. Yes, we are known for both pastry and ice cream, so that's quite exciting.
Amazing.
I would need to find a teleportation circle. I think it's probably easiest, but um, this seems good.
Uh, at this point, Dragon's gonna pipe up and says, well, I wish the best of luck to both of you. I'm only going to remain here for limited time. I plan on leaving the city. If you both could do me a favor before I go and deliver this letter. And he slides a piece of paper on the table, mostly towards Pax, and says, looks at Pax and says, I hope you know where to deliver this, and gives him a look of like, remembrance of what happened last night in the with the two figures.
Okay, I'm back to Dragon and understanding you.
Can I roll insight to see if I figure out that there's something that I don't know here? That there's like
You don't even
something
need
that
to
the
roll.
old
You
people
know
said.
they said something that
Okay,
happened last
I can
night.
just
You know something happened, but you were asleep, so you don't know what it was, but there's something.
okay. Is everything okay, Dragon? I don't want to pry, but
No,
are
but
you okay?
not exactly. But that's why I'm leaving the
Anyone can
city.
help with something, you know. She's always a good resource for these things. I'll say significantly.
Well, I'm hoping that by getting away from it all will help more. Mm, As much as I'd like to
Maybe.
stay and stop the man that I helped put on the throne, I don't think I can stay in the city any longer, and being a wanted man doesn't add to that feeling.
Well, if we're heading for Evermeet, that would get us out of the city. It's entirely possible, hey? Or do you have a other different destination to head to immediately?
My plan was to kind of just wander, find out where I end up when I end up there.
Hmm. Wandering is noble. It's true.
Turns
That's
out
why
you like wandering in an ancient direction.
appreciate it, and that's why I stopped at the library. I hoped I'd find either of you here, one of you here, and bid my farewell.
As
Well, it's
you
an honor traveling with you, and I hope we can still be of assistance somehow.
as you guys are talking, you kind of all passively notice that the people that were meandering around the library, that were looking through the shelves, that were sitting at the tables and studying, have kind of dispersed. As you look up, you
Oh.
see that the clerk that you delivered the packages to is gone. You see that the librarian behind you is gone, and you guys start to hear voices, lots of shouting, lots of voices, and then
That's hard, guys.
you hear the front door smash open, and the sound of many, many footsteps charging in. And within a few seconds, you see that there are guards, there are a captain. I'm getting these all set up real quick, and then I will reveal them all to you. Have made their way into the library, and they just yell out at all of you. You hear the the dragon-looking person up here, Pax, yell out,
Mm.
"Grab them! Apprehend them all! They're the escaped prisoners! Take them!
Mentador,
Take them
hi,
today!"
with Anthea. Burp.
Where are you dimension dooring to?
Hold on to your hat.
Dragon, I can come back for you in a minute. Let's see here. What would be? Because I think the range is pretty long, 500 feet. Um, would there be a store I know nearby in the general direction, or if not, it would just be like, the exit and then add 50 feet kind of idea,
As
like the open
you
space beyond.
as you um, create this portal of a door to escape,
Mm.
the door slams shut, and you see the sorceress who translated the information for Dragon the first time you were in here go, "They're trying to escape. I've stopped them for now." And
Can I
she
counterspell
counter.
her counterspell?
Let me see how far away you are from her. Roll me uh, a perception to see if you see her, as she was kind of
No.
out of your peripheral. So that was a performance, not a perception, because that'll catch
Oh, okay.
that'll catch anybody. Nobody's. Very few
So it's
people are that
minus
sneaky.
4, so 24.
24. All right. I'm gonna roll. Her dex is like a +2, so she will swing now. Yeah. So you see her, and you can 100% do that. You're gonna leave Dragon here with all these people, but yeah, you can burn it.
That's fine. If he can get an instant portal out,
Yeah.
can I get an instant pop my shadow teleport over here?
Is your echo out still from before?
No, he would have been unsummoned when I started
Okay,
moving.
so I'll say you can summon him, or you can take off running, and you can get your full movement to whichever one of those you want.
Oh, yeah, I'll run.
Okay, so you run over there. You do know there's only one door into this library, and it is the main door.
And these are windows, right?
And those are windows that are
Yeah.
quite tall.
Okay.
Kaylin, at this point, you made your way in the one round behind the guard. So if you want to sneak attack a guard, you can do that, or you tell me what you want to do. I'm gonna put you guys over here real quick, just so you're still on the map. But you basically bamf out 500 feet that way. So.
Yes.
Or the other way, whichever way you want to bamf out. I just assumed you were bamfing out the main
Out,
entrance.
yes.
But, okay.
Exactly.
But you can put yourself on any
And
outside of the
we just
library
run.
you went to. So, yeah. So, all right. Yeah. Are you attacking anybody, Kaylin? What is your plan? As you see these guards
So
all rush.
as I follow in behind them, do I hear the exclamation of they've disappeared, they've ran? Like, do I hear that?
You don't, because it happens instantaneously. And so as soon as you walk in, you hear them yell to basically arrest them, and then they're out. And so you would immediately have just heard that, and then they haven't reacted that they have left just yet. But they are all kind of crushing it. They still see Dragon, so you see it. They're all kind of going in that same direction of who you assume to be one of the people that you were with. You don't know which one though. And Samantha also runs away. She says she's a chicken. She tried. She ran away.
I will go probably 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 bonus action dash to here and
Okay.
peek my head around the corner.
Yeah.
And see what I see.
None of them are looking at you. I just don't feel like turning all the tokens around.
That's fine.
They're all facing the table where they were all sitting, so they're all looking in this general direction. So.
But I don't see anybody there.
You.
Or do I catch like the end of the counter spell? War.
Yeah, you can catch the end of the two of them disappearing. A Dragon basically like diving out away from the table as the chair collapses, and you see him run over here. He's not hidden. He's running. So you see it, and you know that all these guys are basically going to start moving and grooving to here. So you get a quick action. So is there anything you're gonna do, or are you just gonna wait?
I'd like to hold a hidden shot, and I'm gonna try to pick off the straggler, so the last person to go after Dragon.
All right. So with that, then we'll go into initiativo. So here's this guy, and here's this guy. Oh, they all have +1. That's convenient.
I hope we didn't mind the evacuation, May. It just seemed like the safest option.
Oh, it's good. It was great. It's perfect.
Okay, good.
And
Jail once was enough. Let's not do that.
Yeah, right? We've had enough of being locked up in the clink.
all right, so we're gonna
we
put
might
on.
get to see Naomi again.
Maybe if she's not killed
It's
today.
true.
So you know. Anthea, it is your turn.
Okay, I'll quickly turn to Pax and say, I have an idea, but we all need to get to a tree.
Pax, what's
Can
your
you get
initiative?
everybody
Did
to
you
a
roll
tree?
your initiative for me, Pax?
Oh,
not-
I
not.
didn't because I'm not here, but yes, we'll
Oh.
do that.
Yeah.
Clicky. Clicky.
6.
Clicky.
Okay, cool. So you are down into initiative.
Much
Cool.
better.
All right. So, Anthea, what's your plan?
Well,
You know Dragon's still in there.
Our goal, I will point to a tree that is outside here, but we need to get everybody. So my goal is to try and get everybody to a tree. Perhaps this tree here. That
Okay.
looks like a nice tree.
All
So
right.
I'll point to it to Pax so that he has seen it and knows about it. And then, I suppose I'll just start to try to distract these guards so that we can get.
Okay. So you're gonna move in front
Dragon.
of
I'm sorry.
one of the windows and try and distract them.
Yeah, I'll. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking through all my spells. Figure out
Okay.
one. I don't want to destroy any books. Is my main thing.
Fair.
So, let's just. Hey, this might be fun. Can I try doing some confusion and see if I can confuse them.
All right. What is that? Like a 10-foot square, I think, or something like that.
See, so I'm gonna do. If I do it at.
Oh, it's a 10-foot sphere. All right.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. So if I could try to get as many of those in there.
That's a big old thing. So I don't think it's gonna show it properly on this map because this map isn't actually to scale. But I'm gonna try and see if it does. Let's see.
If I do it
yeah,
at
that's
5th level, then it increases by 5 feet.
Oh well, then that's about right then. That's about 15
So,
feet ish.
that work?
Yeah, we'll say
Okay.
that works. So you can basically
Try
get
to go as many as I can.
yeah, you can basically get 3 guys. Yeah, you can basically so you put it there. You have to be able to see them too, so you can't see through all these bookcases. So you could see these guys up there, because these guys
The
are basically all behind
doorway.
bookcases. I mean, I guess if you ran down to the
Or is
main
it over
doorway.
here?
Oh, if you ran down to like.
Can it peek through the window?
You can peep through the window and hit these guys, or you could run down
Okay.
here a little bit and try and get these ones, but it's up to you.
I'll stay up here and
Try and hit those 3
I'll
guys.
hit these guys.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I'll roll the 2 city guards' wisdom saves first, which is a 0. Okay, great. 15 and 4, so they're both confused, and this guy is also a 4. Dang. So they are all confused. All right, cool. So I'm gonna put a little.
And then at the starts of their turns, we'll roll to see what they do with their confusion.
Yes, sounds good to me. And that's not concentration, right?
fun.
It is concentration.
Oh shit, I think
Yes,
it is.
It is cool. So all right, so I'll put a little.
Okay.
I'll move you here for a minute just so I can
on
put
me?
a pink dot on you, so I can actually reach the thing and put you back out there. Cool. Anything else on your turn?
That's everything for me.
All right, cool. All right. So this guard is not one of the confused ones. But he is gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to here. Seeing you there, he is going to try and shoot you with a heavy crossbow. So here comes heavy crossbow shot at you, Mr. Dragon. A 10.
That hits a bookshelf.
Just a big old heavy bolt just explodes some books behind you and just clink. It's stuck right into a bookshelf, and he's going to use his other attack to reload. This veteran is confused. It's a D8, right?
D10.
D10. All right. Let's roll a 5. He does not do anything. He is stuck.
Yep, there we go.
All right. Cool. This guard is also gonna roll. Oh, does he get to roll a save at the end of his turn?
I think they do at the end of each turn.
Okay, so let me roll
Yeah.
the save for that
Wisdom
guy
save.
first. He's failed. Cool. All right, so this next guy, who is the confused guard right there, will roll a 3. So he is also confused and does not do nothing. So this guy is no longer confused though. He shakes it off. But it's the end of his turn, so he can't go anywhere. But I will say that he just turns on the spot and sees you through the window. So he's not
No.
confused anymore, but he can't do anything because his turn's over. So he lost a whole turn, while his friends are also confused. Caleb.
So seeing how people are moving and reacting and responding, I think she's gonna go this direction, 10, 15, 20, and peek her head around this corner, and she's actually gonna fire a shot at this guy.
Absolutely. He does not know you're there, so you have advantage on your shot. And if you hit, you get sneak
Awesome.
attack.
I do. And for flair, she moves her wrist, and something like a small thing about the palm of her hand falls out, and with a flick, it unfolds itself into a longbow.
Ooh, nice.
Fancy.
And, yes.
24
And I'm gonna-
does hit.
So I have
Elven accuracy.
I have elven accuracy
All right,
on her.
roll me
So
that.
I'm gonna re-roll that 18
All right.
to see if I can get a natural 20.
Uh,
No.
So you still hit. So it is 35 damage. It's
Yep.
pretty beastly. You catch him right in the ribs, and he now knows that you're there as you just blast him in the rib cage.
Are you sure?
Mhm.
Are you sure? Because I would like to dive back here and do bonus action hide.
He knows that an arrow came from down this aisle. How about that?
I don't know. There's many different aisles it could be down.
Well, he knows it came from that general direction. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check to try and be hidden behind the books.
I know. Life is so weird. I am a book. I am a book.
I am a book. All right.
Thank God for whatchamacallits.
Yeah.
Because that was a 2.
All right. Okay. So, this guy is gonna take off running towards Dragon. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Also can't quite make it to you, so he's gonna try and take a shot at you with a heavy crossbow as well. For a natural 20. For 17, as it just goes through your cloak and catches you in the shoulder for a big old heavy thickness, and then uses his second attack to pull out a bolt and slam it into his crossbow and pull it back. And you hear him, he's like, "You like that? I'm coming for you, son." And then it's your turn.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Action dash. 5, 10, 15, 20, to get behind this bookshelf. What am I looking outside this window? Are there buildings?
Outside this side, it just seems to be grass and like an open yard. They kind of, on this side, they have some land, like an acre, not a whole bunch, but you see buildings kind of off in the distance, about a couple-minute walk from here.
Okay, so at my angle that I can kind of see, I'm going to summon my echo behind this pillar.
Okay.
And outside the building.
Okay, cool. So it is your bonus action to summon your echo out there.
Oh, he's a bit big.
Yeah, I can just shrink him down.
And that is my turn, because I can't teleport to him yet.
Correct. All right, so it is this one's turn. And he is gonna go ahead. Yeah. He's gonna be chasing you. He's gonna use his action and bonus action to do himself some running. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And he also cannot make it to you, so he's gonna try and shoot you with his heavy crossbow in the leg to try and slow you up for a second.
Did he dash?
As a bonus action, yes.
Oh, okay.
And he shot you with a crossbow.
Do I get like a shit ton of cover from being behind a bookshelf?
He can see. He's basically trying to shoot you in the foot. So I'll say you have half cover, so a +2. So.
All right, that still hits.
Okay, so just 4 as he shoots you in the leg. His goal was to try and pin you down by shooting you in the leg and making you fall. But you're not gonna fall with a 4. So if he crit, then I would have you roll against it, but he didn't. So you take an arrow to the leg. Pax, it is your turn. You know that Anthea just pointed out that there's the tree down there, and to head towards that tree. But you also see some confused folks, and you don't see Dragon anymore. He's kind of behind enough books from where you're at that you can't make out where he is. But you know he's in there still. At least you think he's in there.
Does this person seem like a spellcaster? No.
No, but they are both confused. You did see that Anthea cast a spell towards them, and these two, this guy didn't do anything, this guy didn't do anything, but shook it off, and it's kind of got the, you guys have his attention now, or Anthea does, and this guy, you have not seen him do anything yet, one way or the other.
Okay.
But it seems to be that first guy you asked about seems to be a dragonoid-looking creature who's very big, but also looks very nimble, and he's wearing some armors. It has some swords.
I don't know where a dragon is. I'm gonna aim to create a distraction with this spell. So I'm gonna move towards the tree, but I'm gonna have like, you know, two bookcases like fly at each other as if there was a spell there or something. So I'm not trying to damage anyone. I'm trying to make a big, loud, crashing noise that is as far away from where I think allies are.
Gotcha.
Maybe here, because maybe like see through a window, kind of. Where's my measure tool? Like this is a window, right? So maybe if I like move, window, move, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
If that
So
isn't that
you are doing animate objects. I like it.
The two large ones, so
Two-
bookcases, I guess,
two
or
larges.
something.
Okay. Yeah,
Tables?
that works. So I'm just gonna, because I don't want to make a new token for these real quickly, we'll just do boom. Yes. We'll just do. Wow, that's a lot of stuff going on there. We'll just say it is larger, so we'll just do two of these bad boys. So, bam and bam. So those are your bookcases that are animated. So,
That was 10 feet.
and that is also a
Another
concentration. So
one.
I'm just gonna toss a little blue one on you. And do you want them to do anything? Because they attack on your turn, or right at the end of your turn, I think, or bonus action they do.
Yeah. I guess because I could see that guy. Yeah. Let's have
Yeah.
a bookcase slam into him. The other one
Okay.
just slam, like just this way. It's like bam, just throwing it whatever might be that way.
Okay. So they get what, slam damage? Yeah, so it's melee. They can it is I think it's just a 5-foot reach. Has a flying speed of 30 feet. Blindside, Jesus. It's got all kinds of stuff. Alright, so it's got to make a melee attack within 5 feet of it. So this one can basically move over to here, and this guy can reach this guy. And then they both have a +6 to hit. So go ahead and roll for both of them. You can actually just click on the pink box in the thingy, I think, twice, and that'll give you your.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll give you.
Beep.
So 18 and a 16. The first one hits, the second one misses. The second guy, so we'll say this guy hits. This one, he goes to slam down, and he just kind of moves out the way, and the guy slams on the table, and you do 14 damage. That is a lot.
Oh, it rolled up with the thing. Very good. Cool.
So you did 14 damage to this guy who's looking real bad. He took a force arrow to the face or the chest, and now he just got hit by a giant bookcase. This man is very confused.
Read more books.
Read
Don't
more
be a fighter.
books.
Read more books.
We'll beat the knowledge into you. All right,
Okay.
and you're moving down here towards the tree. Cool. 3 days from retirement. All right, so it's this guard's turn. He's gonna roll a d10 to see what he does. A 4. I don't think he does anything on a 4. Nope. He's stuck. Let me roll this wisdom save. He's still stuck. This city guard is terrified. What do they have? Their AC is. Do they really have 80 hit points? I think they do. They have 50 hit points with an AC of 10. Okay, that makes sense. All right, cool. All right. 50. Cool. All right, so this city guard is gonna attack the statue or the bookcase that just came alive and is wrecking shop. So he's gonna take 2 swings at this bookcase. A 19 to hit, which does hit, and a 12 to hit, which also does hit. So he's gonna do a total of 14 damage to this bookcase. And he's having a bad time, guys. This city guard, he's gonna just try and fight this bookcase, I guess, because he sees that coming to hit his friend, so he's gonna do the same thing. 2 longsword attacks. Bam, bam. Wow, he missed the bookcase. Second time around. But he's got 41 out of 50 and a 10 AC. All right, Anthea, it is your turn.
Right. I am just going to use my turn to dash to the tree.
Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely get there.
And that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna try to motion through the window. I guess Dragon can't see me from over here. Never mind. He's
Okay.
way too far away now. I was gonna try to be like hey, come here. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this guard is seeing he's being
If I
attacked.
block your plan, I can message to them. By the way, May. So if you would tell if you told Pax, I can just message them.
Yes, please come to to the tree.
Okay, I'll do that on my next turn.
All right.
Sorry, Alex.
No, you're good. So this guard, seeing that he's being attacked by this bookcase, is gonna move into flanking position with his buddy to attack books. So here's his first attack: a 19 and a 15, for a total of this bookcase of 15 damage. If anything, these things are just damage absorbers for you guys. So
Yep.
they're just meat shields made of paper. All right.
Paper shield.
So it's this Dragonborn's turn. He rolled a 10. He gets to do normal stuff on his turn. He's still under the confusion spell, though. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to run and jump and bust out the window, which will get him to here. Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He can get to there, is what he can do. But that's his action. No, because he has dash as a bonus action. So he gets all the way here, and he sees you, and he'll shoot you with a crossbow to see if he can if he can hit you for one. He does for 19 damage.
Oh no.
And then I need a
God.
Constitution saving throw. But you have Warcaster, so it's at advantage to maintain concentration on this confusion spell. And half of 19, yeah, you pass it. So you maintain the concentration. And let me see if he fails his wisdom save. He does. So he's still confused, and you're still maintaining the spell. So there is a chance the next time he'll just stand there like a big dummy. And
Hooray.
I'd have nothing.
Fingers crossed.
This city guard also saw you, but sees this bookcase that is messing with his buddies and knows that he thinks his boss has got you covered. So he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. He can't get flanking, but he's just going to come right here and take 2 sword swipes at this bookcase. Both hit for 10. So, alright, your bookcases are working. Kaylin, it is your turn. You can see, so you can't see him because there's a pillar there that
Okay.
he's running past. Roll me you were hiding, roll me a perception real quick and we'll see if you saw him flash past the window.
15.
Let's see, his dex is a +1, so let's just see. No, you did not see him flash past the window, but you do see Anthea right there out the window. So
But I don't. Did we decide if I knew that was her?
no, you see a woman there.
I do.
Yes, you do
And
see
I don't see Pax because he hasn't come to the window.
yes, he is. Well, that's the door. So she's right in front of the door.
I'm
Pax is
past the window, but I'm not out of window
yes,
now.
yeah, he's behind basically the bricks right now. So you don't see him. He didn't see the Dragonborn. You know that the guy that you shot is up there still. And yeah, that's all you can see right now. Unless, well, you pop out and you see that guy, but you see that guy and you see this woman outside the door pointing at this tree.
I just kind of shake my head at the woman pointing at a tree because I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's not dressed in garb, so I'm thinking she's trying to leave, which is good because civilians should leave. So I'll peek my head around the corner and I'll take a shot at this guy.
You'll get sneak attack because well, no, because you don't know that Pax made that, so it's not technically an ally. So if you want to use your bonus action to do the steady aim, you can do that, or you can just shoot him. It's up to you.
Does he know I'm here though?
What was your stealth that you rolled?
23.
No, you're hitting.
Awesome.
So yeah, you're good. You can shoot at advantage.
Yeah, I will take an advantage shot at him.
If you hit him, how do you want to kill him? He has 9 HP. If you hit him, he's going to die. So...
I hope so. That would be bad. So for flavor, guys, her bow doesn't have a string on it. Until she starts running her fingers along what looks like an invisible string, and what she pulls back is actually a solid blue arrow. And when she lets it go, when it hits something, it shatters and seems to actually shake the target because it's made of force.
You hit him, and You
I had to see if it was a crit.
you
I
hit
had to
him
check.
for 30 damage in the chest, and he had 9 HP. So he's gonna go backwards as you blast him. And just he ends up right here with just a hole in his chest, and he's not alive in this world anymore. He is dead.
So seeing that I have a clear path, I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, and then duck and crouch behind this table here. I'm keeping an eye on Miss Weird Tree Pointer out there because she should have ran, and she's pointing at a tree for some reason. So I'm just kind of like, what the hell is going on?
You can go ahead and make a stealth check if you're trying to be sneaky under a table.
Yes, please.
All right, do it.
Hey, 31.
Jesus. Yeah,
That's an
you're
18.
you are under a table.
So I'm
This,
still sneak.
yes. This city guard here is gonna try and chase after Draken. 15, 20, let's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna say you're gonna get like not full cover, but more than half cover. So we'll say you get +4 to AC because his
Okay.
boss is in the way and there's a bookcase there. So
Natural one shoots his boss.
maybe we'll see. 12.
And doesn't shoot his boss. But that misses and hits another bookshelf.
Cool. It just he's trying to like avoid and bend a crossbow bolt like he's in Wanted, but he's not that good of a shot. So it just hits a book. And you have a book pinned to the bookshelf now. It's not going anywhere. Dragon, it is your turn. You see this red dragonoid-looking guy shooting bolts at you, and this other human guy also shooting bolts at
And
you.
I have an arrow in my shoulder, an arrow in my leg,
Yes, you
or a
do.
bolt in my shoulder, bolt in my leg. I will move my echo 15 feet away up to 30 feet so that it's still in range.
Okay.
I then spend 15 feet of movement to teleport outside.
Okay. Are you basically
then-
making him because the map doesn't go that far? Is he just going
Um,
immediately left?
I'm piecing out,
Okay.
homie.
So-
I'm moving him. Yeah, moving
So
him.
it's basically just going that way.
Yeah, moving him that way to its max. I'm teleporting. When I teleport, I'm also popping away the echo if I can. I forget if that's a bonus action.
Well,
It
you
is
can, you
dismiss
can
it as a bonus
say
action,
you
but
can
he's gonna
teleport.
disappear anyways.
You can teleport and then run the 15 feet, and then at
Yeah.
the end of the turn he'll just disappear. Just because that's how it
So
works.
teleport 30 feet away, and then that's 15 feet of movement, and I'm spending the rest of my actual movement, so 15 more movement to run, and then action, I'm out.
Okay. So basically, what this captain sees is you teleport and you switch places, and there's like this ghostly remnant form of you left over, and then as you start to run, it just starts to fade into smoke, and then it just like dust on the wind, it just disappears. And I'm just gonna put you up here just so you're gone.
And for all intents and purposes, I am running until I can portal myself up on top of another rooftop.
Okay.
So the second I hit a building, I'm popping on the roof.
Okay, cool. So basically say that you just keep running, and then over the next couple of turns, you'll just keep running and running and running until eventually you make it to a building, you summon your echo, and you just teleport,
Yes.
teleport up on the roof. So we'll just say you're 40 feet up in the air on a roof here in a couple of turns. You make it there.
Cool.
Cool. Well, it is this Dragonborn's turn, who's gonna 15, 20, 25, 30. Bonus action, kind of dash and smash out the window, and he looks and he sees that you're running, but knows that you have a good enough distance on him. I'm gonna have him take a disadvantage. Well, it'd just be regular because it's 100 feet. He's gonna take a bow shot at you and see if he can hit you from this far with his crossbow, because it's still technically in turn. A 7.
No.
He just, you're moving at such a speed that he's just shooting off. And so he shoots, and then he's gonna turn back and yell to this guard, "Get the others! He's gone. We'll find him later." So I'll just have this guy turn around, but he's not gonna go anywhere in his turn. Just turned around. Pax, it is your turn.
There, unmute. Cool.
I think I can back and still have my bookcases do some attacks. Yes.
Yes, you can bonus action and they can attack. Yep.
We'll baction that. Slam, slam.
Cool. All right, roll. It's a d20 plus 6 for those two boys.
I can probably just find
Or
the
bookcases. I guess
thing.
bookcases are genderless. They're just books
Oh.
in cases. These wooden creatures. 14 will miss, but the 24 will hit. We'll say this was your second one that attacked, so it got that guy. So roll I think it's 2d10 plus 2, if I recall correctly. 2d10 plus 2. Yep. 16. Man, those things hit real hard.
They're pretty great.
Yeah, man. A huge object is 2d12 plus 4. Bang.
And as promised to Anthea, I will message ping, 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 trying to find Dragon. I know.
He's far enough away that you just message, you get nothing back.
As I go to this window, would I recognize that this is an ally person? Like, I don't think I know.
Well, she's hidden
feel
under a
like it.
table, so roll me a stealth check and see
Oh.
if you can beat a 31. If you roll a natural 20, I'll say that you can see her, because I don't think you can possibly beat a 31.
You mean perception?
Yes, with a natural 20. 18. So you look over and you don't see anybody, Kaylin, unless you want him to see you. Then obviously you can pop your head out and wave if you want to. But
Yeah, if I saw him, I would be like, holy shit, it's a face I know. Like,
so Pax, you look around for a
Make
second
myself seen.
and you don't see anything immediately. Then scurrying out from under a table, you see Kaylin that you recognize from yesterday. So
I was like, oh man! And I will message her then via the message cantrip.
I mean, you
Anthea
can
wants
just yell
see
to
us
her.
up the street.
The door's wide open. She's like 20 feet away. You can just
Well,
yell her
yeah,
if you want.
people might be listening. There's
Oh.
hostiles around. We need to be
Sure.
secret. Agent whisper.
Okay. All right. So you
So
see.
message to her what the plan is, and then head to the street.
All right. This city guard is rolling a 2. Does he get to do stuff with a 2? Uses all of his movement to move in a random direction. I'm gonna roll a d8, and it will assign which way it goes. So 1 will be up, 2 will be down, 3 will be right, 4 will be left, and then everywhere in between.
Look, that's
So rolls
boss
two.
method. Like 1 is north, 2 is northeast, etc. It's easier.
I'll just have him. He's gonna run south and just bonk into a bookcase, and he can't go anywhere. He just plop, face plants into a bookcase, and he does not take an
And
action.
Robo Rally.
Yes. This guard is gonna try and flanking beat up this bookcase because that's what he's been doing. 25 and a 21 for a 19 and 29 damage. This bookcase falls. They do destroy a set of books, so.
Yeah.
Right? Anthea, it is your turn.
The book.
Oh, I forgot to roll a
Okay.
save for that guy to see if he breaks it. He does not. He's still confused.
We want. And hopefully that guy above us is also going to continue to be doofy. I want to, I'm going to go up to this tree, which I've been motioning towards, and I'm going to cast Transport via Plants.
Transport via plants.
It's fancy.
Alright.
And then now I have to decide which plant I'd like us to go to. We've seen.
Yep, where are you going? It doesn't have to be. Here's the thing. It can literally be any plant that you have ever
I just found
seen.
this plane, right? In my life.
On the same plane of distance. Yep, any plant you have ever seen in your life. Where are you opening
It
this
has to
door
be
to?
large. It has to be like a tree.
Yes.
Okay.
I could
I
message you
mean-
a description of a tree on Evermeet.
Uh,
Whee!
I know, I was
you've
like,
got
I
to
wish
decide
I could.
right now as you make the spell. Where are you going? You tell
Well,
me
it
where
has
you're
to be
going.
one I've seen, not one Pax has seen. Right?
Correct. You have to have seen
So-
or touched the
okay.
destination plan at least once. So.
I mean, there's been a tree in pretty much every place we've gone. What do you think, Pax?
It's got to be you. You've
Back
got to
to
tell me.
headquarters.
Ah, it's
Yeah,
gotta be
I can't
me.
consult.
Yep, it's got to be you.
Okay,
Roll and you may.
that's so helpful. Do I geographically know what would be close to where Pax is from? Like what city we've been to that's closest?
No.
I've probably touched a tree in every city I've been to. Alright, in that case. I'll pick if there's like a random big tree that's kind of near the outskirts of the city that we've been in that we can kind of
Okay.
swoop over to there and then run out of the city kind of thing?
All right. So you are basically
This all
teleporting
depends.
yourself. You're opening a doorway to the outside of um, Moreau.
Yeah.
Okay. So you open this doorway, and it will stay open for 1 round. So when it comes to your turn, that doorway will close. Anything that can get to this doorway within that round can go through this doorway. So you have cast transport via plants. This door to the outside of Moreau is open. And are you stepping through it, or are you waiting till your turn next time to step through as it closes?
I imagine I'll be the last person to step through, and it'll close behind me.
Okay.
If that's
So you
possible.
open this. You basically unzip this tree and open a door. All right. So this city guard, or this king's guard, just sees this other bookcase. So he's gonna run over here, 25, 30, and he's gonna. Yeah, because he can't see you guys down there. He can't see his guard. He's just gonna try and help his buddy with a 21 and a 20. So that's 16, 21, 25. This bookcase has 1 HP left. It's still standing. All right. Okay. So now this is the Dragonborn who is still confused by your spell. So, depending on how he rolls, he might make it through, or he might not.
At
MVP.
least we'll just have one of them to fight.
All right, let's see what he gets. He rolls a 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can bonus action dash, and he sees you, and he's gonna run up to you, Anthea, and seeing the door open, he's gonna try to grapple you to stop you from stepping through.
No.
So it's gonna be contested athletics checks, him versus you. He rolls a 13.
Come on. Yes!
So he runs up to you and tries to grab onto you, but Gleba just jumps up and slaps him in the face, and he's stunned for a second at the fact that a frog just hits him in the face. But now it's the end of his turn. So now he's gonna roll that wisdom save, and he didn't step through the door, and he didn't grapple you. So, and he's also still confused. And you didn't take damage, so you maintain the concentration on the spell. This city guard is gonna hack and slash at, or this king's guard is gonna hack and slash at this thing, and with 1 attack, brings down your second bookcase. So he is gonna start running towards the entrance. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He can't roll a 31, so he's not gonna see you. I like to imagine you are just out enough waving to Pax, but enough that you're still hidden. But that is that guard's turn. Kaylin, you see this guard's feet as he approaches you. You see Anthea opened some type of portal from a tree, and Pax gave you the quick rundown of you're going to the tree. So, what you want to do?
Does this guy know I'm here?
As soon as you get out, if you run that way, he will, but he does not actively see you right now. His eyes are focused on trying to tackle Anthea. So.
And can I take a shot at him from my hidden position? And one of my goals would be to try to shatter the glass in the window.
Oh,
and
there's no window there. That's just a big door. It's just the same picture. So. That's
sweet,
the actual
cool.
door. Yeah, this isn't the door down here. That's just a part. This is the actual main door. So the doors are wide open. So.
Cool. I'm gonna take a shot at him from my hidden position.
Go for it. You can sneak. You can shoot him at advantage.
Show me a shot. And
Do
then I'm gonna re-roll that
it.
that 4
Do it.
for a 7.
So a 19 hits for 41 damage. He's up, but he also, I think, gets to make a save against it when he... no, just at the end of his turn. He doesn't get to... It's one of the few concentration spells that you don't get to make saves when you take damage. So yeah, he's still confused because he doesn't get to save on
Mhm.
damage.
15,
Uh,
20, and then bloop, jump in the tree.
all right, so I'm gonna move you.
I don't know where we're going, but
Yeah, you
I'm
jumped
going
and
with the team.
you tumble out and you look around really quickly. And you are now on the outside of the front gates of Moreau. With you look back, and I'm gonna say that the tree that you found is like 50 feet outside of the front gates. And you look now, and standing at the front of the gates are 5 dragonoid-looking commanders, basically,
Oh,
and
no. Oh,
20
no.
guards, but they're all facing inside the city, like they're waiting for you to try and escape out. So they're protecting it from people escaping because they still think you're in the city. So you see, there's 24 foes there, waiting, but
Um,
you're 50 feet away, so they don't see you pop out of this tree.
is there any foot traffic currently going into the city? Is there like a caravan, or does it look like somebody's walking that way?
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for people, but I do want to stealth hide.
Okay. If you have a bonus action, you can certainly self-hide.
I do.
All right, do it.
Hippie.
Yeah.
28.
You just duck down beside some of the bushes and the taller grass that's by this tree, and it is this guard's turn, who is just gonna do what he was told. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, just running. Dragon, you take your turn, and you are just.
Yeah,
Just
I am.
looking at-
I'm making my way to like the outskirts of town via rooftops, and like I'm going for like the outskirt walls of the city to go up and over.
Okay. You see that on the walls bordering the city, there are archers. There are armed guards on the walls. You can see from the building that you've got on top of. There are many, 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 many more guards in the city. There is alarms going off. The hustle and bustle. Guards are smashing through the markets, through the main thoroughfares. They're shoving citizens out the way. Citizens are, when like there's a bad thing going down on one of the Western TV shows, that people are just slamming doors and boarding up their windows. It's like that. As the city is being flooded now with hundreds and hundreds of Kingsguard, and you see that they are flooding out of the castle. So you don't know how many there are in totality, but you know that the king basically has control of the army and his own guard, and there are a lot of people in both. So the city is being flooded, and the walls are being guarded too by archers. So, all right, this Dragonborn guy sees you running. He's gonna pop in here, and he is going to run as well. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 10, 15, 20. Oh no, I put the thing in the wrong way. Wham, he got to like right there. And then he's gonna go his third because he can bonus action dash and get right there. Pax, you see this commander of the unit came and tried to grab Anthea. Didn't manage to. You see Kaylin dove through. Anthea's holding this doorway open momentarily. So also you don't have to concentrate anymore.
To go through the portal, you only need like 5 feet of movement.
Yeah,
so
you can basically just step back through it.
Stuff
Yeah.
if you want. Yeah.
And you're not concentrating on your spell anymore because your 2 guys died. So.
Yeah.
So. Are you muted, Pax?
Yes, I'm muted. That is exactly what was happening. Let's see. So this guy is still confused. Let's
Yes.
see. And if I take an action on him, it ends the confusion, right? If like I attack him or something.
No, that's one of the few spells that damage won't give him a resave. He just has to pass the save at the end of his turn, or Anthea has to drop it. So you can attack. You can totally attack him.
Let's just,
Oh Jesus! This guy is not smart. 8. That's. I'm not even kidding you. He has an AC of 18 and an HP remaining of 24 out of 65. So
Oh my god, yes.
he just, you see for a split second, he looks like he's still chasing, and then I need this to he reach out like he was gonna try and grab Anthea again, and he just falls to the ground.
Not Aranthea.
Blood coming out of his nose and his ears. So.
Crumple.
And you still have your movement. You can step through that
Into
portal
the
if
tree.
you want.
Into the tree. Bye.
All right, you step through the tree, and you step out, and you quickly look around too, and you see that there are 24 people at the entrance to the city, about 50 to 100 feet away. You don't see anybody else walking, and you see some bushes and some smaller trees all around you as well. You can kind of step out of the way of the portal, so Anthea can
I will
step
do
through.
that. Yeah.
All right, this guard. Hey, he's able to do stuff. He's gonna run this way. 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He sees you. He used his action to dash, and he sees you now. He also sees this door open behind you, but there's nothing he can do about it because he's still confused. This guard is going to just take off running as well. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. They can see through the door, and they can see that you are like these two guys and this guy can all see that this guy not so much. These two guys can see the doors open and that you guys are all disappearing. And Anthea, it is your turn. You know your door closes this round. What would you like to do?
I'm not gonna attack them or anything. I'm just gonna give them a little wave and step through the tree.
As you step through the tree, as you're waving and step back, you see that tree root and bark just kind of like a jigsaw just like build themselves out and just reform themselves together, and then you step out of the tree on the other side, and the doorway just closes and seals like it was never there to begin with. And
Love
you guys,
that spell.
right? And you guys are now, well, the three of you are now outside the front gates of Moreau. You see the same thing, Anthea. You see a whole bunch of guards standing at the front entrance into the city, but there are only the three of you. You don't know where Dragon is. You got ported before you even saw what happened to Dragon, and you know you left all these guards and everyone behind. Dragon, we will pop over to you because you are still in the city. What is your plan?
How many archers do I spy on the wall?
For every quarter of a mile or every few hundred feet, there are 3. So
3.
you see that they have about 30 to 40 feet between them as they're kind of walking back and forth in their ranges. And you know, some of them have crossbows, some of them have longbows, and you know that those have pretty good distances. So, you know, even if they are that far apart, they can always collectively aim at a single target.
Uh-huh. Alright. Let's see here.
Again.
Let us see here. How far apart are they?
Depending on where they are in their walk back and forth, some are 30 feet apart and some are like up to 70 feet apart. It just depends on which direction they're both walking at the same time on either side. So there's some range between them, but I mean it's gonna be hard just to sneak right through them. It might grab attention, but it's possible.
All right, I'm going to real quick. One of these.
Okay.
Can I maybe do a perception check to see if I can get a moment of like catch a moment where they're not necessarily paying attention, and is trying to slip in?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception, and then I'll just roll a straight D20 luck check. And because they're on high alert, it's going to be a higher DC. So I'm going to say if it's the DC will be 18. So if it's under 18, then it's likely you could find a moment. If it's no, the other way. So if it's 18 or over, you can find a moment. If it's 1 to 17, then they're going to be on pretty high alert. So
Okay.
14. So they're on. You can try, but
Well,
it'll
there's
definitely
no
not be easy.
option, no.
Yeah. You don't see it anything off the right off the cuff. So
Okay. Oh boy, I could go for a Hail Mary or I could try and be stealthy. I'm not stealthy whatsoever, so I think my Hail Mary is the better option.
okay.
So on my roof, I would like to get a running start.
Okay.
I would then like to teleport to the wall if possible,
Mm-hmm.
behind one of the archers, and then I want to shoulder one of the archers off the edge.
Okay. Roll me an athletics. Well, you can teleport, so that won't be a problem to get up there. Roll me a straight athletics check to see if you can. Their AC was 17, so if you can hit their AC with an athletics check, then I'll say you can shoulder charge one of them enough to grab their attention to that guy as he falls off, and it gives you about 3 seconds.
Oh, I really hope I can. I'm scared. I have a +9.
You have stuff from a previous life.
I don't.
You can do it.
You can do it.
No, I don't. I used them all. I never long rested.
I like what you're doing, so you get a free extra one.
Okay.
Yay.
Well, let's
You need
see.
a 4, basically.
I gotta, yeah. I mean, they haven't been all too great, so I'm gonna say I get a 2. A 3.
You shoulder charge into him, and as he starts to stumble, he manages to do that thing where like you fall forward and you plant your hand and you catch yourself just enough time, where he's not going to be able to take an immediate reaction at you because his reaction was to stop himself from falling off. But you have about 3 seconds to decide what you
Okay.
want to do.
3 seconds. I look over the edge. Shadow teleport.
Okay, you shadow teleport, and
And then I'm Vroom!
all right. I'm gonna say because there were all the ones I described. I'm gonna say there are 4 of them that know where you are immediately, just because you hit the guy and dove down, and they're gonna take 4 shots at you. So it's gonna be, let me see what they're just because it's gonna be a +3. So 4 d20s +3 each one. Bang, 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 bang. Does a 12 hit?
No, none of them hit.
All right, cool. You just see as a raining of just bolts just
Our
hit the ground
arrows
all
will
around
blot
you
out the sun. You wish?
with the 4. But you're able to run, and as you're running, you
I don't
ran
know what part of town I'm on, what wall I
Uh,
went to. I just
you
picked the direction and went.
you ran to the west. The gates to the city are to the southeast. So you basically are running westward out into the western openness of the continent outside the city walls. So you don't know where everybody else went. Um, you do know that they dimensioned that they just disappeared. Um, your echo is what you got, and you're running west as you jumped. You jumped the walls. You teleported the walls, um, western out of the city. So you're basically on the run now
Mm-hmm.
by yourself. And I'll let you tell me out of game one way or another what you want Dragon's plan to be. But for now, friends, this game went not at all where I thought it was going to go, but it was fun. So we will pick up there. Probably in 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks. Yeah. So we will pick up in 2 weeks with whatever happens next. What's gonna happen with the gang? What's gonna happen with Naomi? What's gonna happen with everyone? We don't know. We will find out next time. So, all right, and that's all I got for y'all.
Great game as always. Always a blast. Great to play with you guys again. Happy to be back in Mateia. But for now, everybody say goodbye to YouTube.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube.